Tell me who you are.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam. So this is the introduction.
For our videos.
Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, podcasts.
Mini podcasts.
Mini podcasts.
Not quite as big as Ben's one.
Well, it is, if we put it all together. It's longer.
We went to Cardiff to see Court Cooper, a supplement specialist.
We went to Cardiff to see Ask Court, aka Court Cooper, who is the owner and formulator for Biohack Pharmaceuticals, who you may know them from serum code PR3, or serum code Inflate.
Basically, he knows a lot about supplements. A lot. Way more than anyone we've ever seen before. We went to go and chat to him. What did we chat to him about?
Supplements.
Sleeping. And a few other things.
Drugs.
Yeah. 4 episodes.
But 4 episodes. In this episode, Court goes into detail about what's the current situation with the supplement market in the UK.
Seems like it's blowing up at the moment. There's lots of new independent brands coming out, taking over the bigger brands like USN.
But what's being taken off the shelf?
Ingredients are being banned by the FSA, which you've seen in our reviews. We spoke to him about what's going on. Hope you enjoy.
Really in the air at the moment. We didn't know fuck all about pre-workouts. That's the main thing it's hitting, isn't it, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's mainly pre-workouts, yeah.
So 6 months ago I bought Muscle Beach Nutrition from Muscle Beach. You know Muscle Beach in America?
Yeah.
They have their own nutrition line.
Oh wow.
So I thought while I was there, I actually got sucked in by the Arnold on the wall and was like, get that, can I get a free bag with it?
Yeah.
You got a shaker as well, didn't you?
Got 2 shakers.
2 shakers.
Must be a good pre.
Yeah.
It was dog shit. It was awful.
I'd like to see a nutrition panel on that.
I'll send you a picture.
Yeah.
I think the only other place that sells it's bodybuilding.com because they stock everything.
Would make sense, yeah.
It's like bright orange, looked great.
Oh yeah,
so there you
look
go,
good,
it's going to be shit. So like I was saying, 6 months ago you were taking what, the Curse?
I thought that was mad.
Did you?
Well, yeah, I didn't. But I've never tried. I've never seen. They're not in front of you as much because Curse. I've seen
Absolutely.
it at Tesco. I'm sure.
Yeah.
C4 as well. Whereas you've got to go to a proper supplement shop to get these.
That's what I think puts up the brick and mortar supplement shops aside from the websites that you can compare to. You can get someone to talk to you through it. Like, I'm sure if you went into a shop after Curse, they would have directed you to something different. But that's the best thing about pre-workout. It was efficacious for you. It was like it worked.
Yeah, but I remember now thinking back. I say they were good, but I remember triple scooping once stuff like that, and sometimes I'd mix it with Monster.
I get people doing that, being like, "Oh, I found this pre-workout amazing." I was like, "Oh, really?" Like, yeah, do 3 scoops of it though.
Yeah.
Like, well,
I get scared if he heaps a scoop
of these current ones.
One.
Yes.
Literally.
So Chemex, because of the warnings, I don't think.
Well, to be fair, from I don't want to say uneducated, but from a newbie's point of view, you just see 2 tubs. You don't see the potency of them.
Absolutely.
Whereas when I look at it, I'm seeing fucking that's a 10 like out of potency. Like Chemex, I say Chemex should. Chemex is for the maybe 5% of people. And even then, I'm like, "Oh, you sure?" Like,
I love it.
It's so if someone comes in the shop and like, "I need something to blow my head off," I'm like, "Well, do you want something to blow your head off, or do you want Chemex?" Like a touch more. And if they edge towards that, then I'll give them. But I warn them, like, don't be bringing it back when you've had a scoop. Like, be careful.
Same with MVP. I was walking around with some violent music on.
But from an uneducated eye, you aren't picking that up and then picking No Explode up and being like, "Oh yeah, this looks like it's really strong."
It
like,
doesn't.
You don't do that. Like, so
I've got this one, the extreme one.
Yeah.
But the main thing you see in a lot of them is just scoop size.
Yeah.
Like 5.
And plus, they've all got the same claims on. They'll all say extreme energy. They'll all say great pumps. So.
And then the other thing
how are you meant to? Yeah, exactly. So how are you meant to?
I started at like 14, and all I could see was something called the Curse with a skull with like smoke coming out.
You think
of it.
Really?
Wow,
this must be hard. Yeah.
And it's them brands that when you go to somewhere like Body Power, they've got the best stands.
Yeah. Well,
like
I always do say that about marketing budgets. You'll see. You'll know straight away the brands that put the highest doses in make the less margin, don't have as much marketing budget. That's what you see. You don't. This way, you see BSN with the huge stands, USN with the huge stands, and then you'll see the really good products and the smaller stand because they can't really afford it.
Strom's at Body Power was a shell.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just
but there'll be some of the
best.
most unique stuff out there. So specifically against like the BSNs and stuff like that. So I usually say it's a good determining factor if you see them everywhere. They stand everything and they've got loads of money on marketing. Then usually it's it's coming from somewhere, and it's more than likely the product.
And the other thing is that you've got John Jones at a stand at Gap Nutrition, and you think, oh, he actually takes Nitroflex or whatever.
Yeah,
that's what gets him winning these fights.
It's a question I'll ask you though. Do you think people consciously think that?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Do you think that he actually takes it, or he's being paid to do that?
We know now, obviously, that it's a paycheck.
But do you think from a normal standpoint?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think so, because I when I was about,
I think Gymshark could be out of business.
This is where I kind of like. This is where I mentioned Tom and I think Josh. It is from Insight. Fantastic, because they'll actually talk about products. They're not when they've got a. This is why I like them, because they've got a wide range of reference, so they're choosing what to take. That makes sense. So if they take Alpha Lion, Komodo Pump, or MVP, they're doing it, they're giving honest reviews, and they're being genuine people. Whereas if they were just like, oh, I take this because they pay me money and they give me a free product, I would switch off straight away. And normally if someone's sponsored by a brand, 9 times out of 10 I'll just instantly switch off. But I think I want to know what normal people think.
You tell your story about Kai Green.
I was about to say then, yeah, when I like bodybuilding from a weirdly young age. And I went to
What's weirdly young?
Like 4 years old.
No, but like you shouldn't be liking
like
when my parents were looking at me like, why has he got pictures of loads of greased up men like everywhere?
Yeah, that's what I thought I made it weird.
Yeah. But, and I remember,
still has them up like that.
Oh yeah. And I went to see Kai Green, and I bought. It was called Secret Sauce. I think it was some sort of BCA. I don't even know, to be honest.
It was
BCA's.
Secret Sauce was the
Muscle
Meds intra workout. It was actually directly exactly the same as MHP had one as well. It was the intra workout, I think it was. Yeah,
white label formula.
Yeah.
And I had the hoodie and
MHP
everything.
owned Muscle Meds at the time. I don't know if they still do.
I went up to him and I had.
You spaz. This is why we don't like you in nice places.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. I'll get that later.
Nightmare. How did I?
Because you lean back and you're all knocked out.
Anyway, Kai Green.
Anyway, yeah, and I went in the branded hoodie and I said, I've got this. I took the tub and I was like, how does this work? What do I do with this? And I was
You'd already bought it.
And he was like, and he just looked at me. He like sighed and he took me to one side, and the woman who was calling the queue along was like, no, you got to go on. He was just like, just give me a minute. He was like, don't take this.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was like, don't take this, don't spend any more money on this. And he was selling it on his stand, but he must have seen me
that's
at a
what
really
I mean.
young
I don't
age.
know whether that's fair play or not. I don't know whether we'll get that.
He's obviously seen him and thought, oh, this is
it's
what
nice that he's actually said that.
Yeah.
But then he's then turned his
But
back and said, buy
30-year-olds,
this.
yeah, he'll be fine with it. So that's what opened my eyes to it quite early on. I was kind of like, oh right. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
But even then, even with that eye opener, I was still getting gold standard protein and stuff, and like no explode and things like that.
Yeah.
Not because you don't know there's actually things that are that good because they're not in front of you.
Absolutely. And you're not, as I said, you'll not normally get the good brands, which are usually smaller because they don't have enough marketing budget, not sponsoring these big athletes because it's very expensive. Like I've spoken to a few athletes. And the amount of money they're on is absolutely nuts.
It's like a house a month, something.
Yeah, though I know like average athletes, they're on like good 20k a month from it all at least, and but
and then expenses as well.
Yeah, of course, and then all when they compete and stuff like that, it's crazy. But I didn't know how much of an effect these. I don't know whether bodybuilders so much, but YouTubers have. I'd say YouTube's more, because when you're investing that much time into a YouTube video, say if you're investing an hour, you're heavily invested into that person. Once that person says to buy something, you're more than likely going to do, because you've already deemed them important enough to give an hour of the day to them. So I know YouTubers are absolutely vital, but I didn't know whether people would walk past and be like, "What, John Jones takes that product, I need to." Because surely if you go, "John, why did you take this?" You'd be like, "What the fuck?
Never had this shit in my life.
Someone answer this for me." It's a bit crazy.
I think we were talking about that on Ghost has seemed to be kind of the breakthrough at the moment. They're getting better. Like they put out the V3 Legend. Yeah. Well, that formula looked pretty good.
Well, I'd say specifically about them, their formulas meet the market that they go after. So it's unfair to then pick the strongest heavily dosed product that excites us and then compare it against a Ghost and be like, oh, Ghost it's only got 4 grams citrulline in. Well, actually, I know the owner of Ghost and I speak to him regularly. He's actually a really clever person, and they don't want people to be stimmed off the head. They don't want people that are after 10 grams of citrulline in a pre. They want people. Look on the back of their tub. It says "Take before you go up." Partying.
We were saying that.
Like their lifestyle, their YouTubers.
That's what it's called, though, isn't
that's
it?
what
It
they
goes
want. They
lifestyle.
don't. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to be in the heaviest. Like we're biohack. They don't want to be that market. They don't want to get the same people buying this stuff. They want nice, effective, which they are effective products, and a few of the products are actually really unique. And then I think the Christian Guzman V3. Is it V3 or V2? Is it V3?
V2's the.
He actually sent me a tub, and that was him basically saying, "Yeah, I know what I'm talking about."
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That was his show to everyone, being like, "Yeah, we can do that." And they brought an ingredient called Carna Prime in, which they've only got and they've only ever used. So that Carna Prime, do you beat alanine, the itchiness? Yeah. Well, Carna Prime subdues that. So you get to, he actually
we saw that, didn't we?
6.4 grams of beta alanine, which is the highest dose that I've ever seen, and it literally feels like a gram maximum.
Right.
Like you take it. Have you taken it?
We've not.
Remind me
sold
before
out.
you go. I've got a tub there in the back. Yeah, I've got a tub in the back.
We'll be able to
There we go.
review it.
If there's a training tonight on, but
But cause we've been looking everywhere and we've messaged them, and obviously because we've only got 15,000, they're like, oh.
no, I've got some there. I'll give it to you.
Awesome, cheers.
It's the only lemon lime product that I've ever, because I hate citrusy lemon stuff. It's the only one that I actually enjoyed, and it was good. Some crazy dosing, 1.2 grams of alpha GPC, which is like the highest you'll ever find.
6.4 grams beta alanine.
Yeah, again, highest you'll ever find, and a good few ingredients in there. So it's a good nootropic focused, not crazy. You don't feel whacked out or anything. Good pumps as well. So I'll give you a try of it.
They seem to be doing what I've seen another brand do. I can't remember the name. Blue packaging, all blue. Where you've got they say they only put 2 grams of beta alanine in the Legend because they put 1.2 grams in pump or something size.
Yeah.
So they're saying if you buy both, you're getting a full clinical dose.
I don't know where I sit on that. I like it as it was Adapt Nutrition
Adapt,
that first.
yeah.
They first got me onto it, because but then at first I was like, wow, that's super clever. But then actually when I thought about it from a consumer's point of view,
You're having to buy 2 products.
Yeah. So for me, when I'm formulating a product, I want to give everyone what they're buying for. So if they want to give a pump, I want to give everything that they need for a pump. Do you know what I mean? I'm not. So although I thought it was clever at the beginning, I don't think I like it.
I don't like it.
It's like kind of, well, if you buy the pump, if you want actually that to work, you need to buy 2 others. It's like, I don't like that. Like,
they're fully disclosed with it as well. They'll tell you. They'll say if you want, we know the full ingredient.
At first I thought it was like, this is clever, but I think it was just because I like stuff that doesn't come out and grab you. They have to figure out. So sometimes I don't know whether brands intentionally do it, but there's a product called Axe and Sledge.
Oh yeah, American, right?
Yeah, so they don't put methionine in there. So methionine tastes horrible. So you'll find this is where the prop blends came from, EAAs, and you always see methionine massively range because it tastes minging. But they didn't put it in. So it's only 8 of the 9 essentials, but they put betaine and hydrogen in there. So then I was looking at it thinking, why? Because they put a gram of betaine in, which normally the lowest is 1.25, because that's what got replicated in a study. So I looked at it, actually betaine converts homocysteine into methionine, so it's a kind of indirect way. So with stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, I've got onto it, like I like that. But then when I sit back and thinking, well, no, I don't like that actually.
Yeah.
I like the fact it's cool enough to do stuff like that, or I like the fact it's cool enough for them to put 2 grams here, 2 grams there, 2 grams there. But then from a consumer point of view, you then got to buy 3 products to get the one efficacious dose of one ingredient, of which I'm just not, I think personally, as a consumer myself, not a fan of.
They're going the right way with like the full disclosure way on the back of the tub.
Ghost.
Ghost.
Mate,
Cool.
I like this stuff, and I really do like this stuff. They do some really cool things to their products. Epicatogen, they go size. No one really does the full disclosure of creatine, which they have. They've done 2.5 grams of creatine, actual yielded creatine monohydrate and creatine hydrochloride. Really like epicatogen in there. They put estrogen in their stuff. That's why I say it's not poorly formulated. It's very cleverly formulated, but it's for a specific demographic, and of which they're nailing, because there's no one that's nailing packaging that well.
There's no one that's selling out in minutes.
Exactly, that lifestyle type of brands, which is a huge market. So normally when you get to learn about supplements, you kind of become a supplement nerd. So then you make supplement nerd products.
Yeah.
Where he's an actual supplement nerd, but pulled back and actually gone for the bigger demographic and has nailed it. So that's why I'm never. A lot of people slag Ghost off because
Really?
of the. Well, a lot of supplement nerds
Okay.
in like my little supplement nerd groups aren't a big fan because they'll be like, oh, 4 grams citrulline, I want to see 6. Well, they like just take a step back a second and look at who's this. It was a big thing. Chained by JP, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Their products taught me a lot about making products for specific categories.
What do you think? What do you rate on that? Because the 3 people we spoke to who's took it don't seem to rate it based on the price.
Oh, based on the price, it is a higher end price product, but it's again for a specific. So if you want to get your head blown off, it's not for you. But he's making. So he like when I looked at it, I was like, "There's more to this." As soon as I seen the formula, I was like, "There's more to it." And then when I got to the grounds of actually who it's getting made for, if he's making it for his clients, he doesn't want to get his clients stimmed off their heads because then their appetite goes down, they can't sleep, they don't recover well. That's not the JP model. So how do they increase cognitive function, massively increase pump widths you want to do, and increase performance? Something that you can take constantly. So if you absolutely burn yourself out with a chemics, for example, the start of prep, you're only going to go downhill.
Yeah.
You're going to go downhill. But if you start yourself with a JP, trained by JP, you're taking that throughout the whole thing. So it's actually really cleverly formulated then. So that's what people have to understand. Not only I was very narrow-minded, so anything that I want to see crazy shit. I want to see stuff I've not seen before. I want to see product ingredients I've not seen before, at dosages I've not seen before. But that's not everyone's like me. That makes sense. So if you're making a product, who are you making it for, and are you ticking the specific boxes? And once you view it like that, that's when Ghost have nailed it. Trained by JP's nailed it. Really like his products, all of them. There's a few people. Strom have nailed it for their demographic. Strom specifically have hit a really cool niche. Supplement needs the most comprehensive health supplement line I know of, hands down. So it's not. That's what I like to. Ghost is cleverly formulated for who they're selling to.
We both said about Ghost. It's the bottom of our tally so far, but we both said we could take that every day and still get it. Still works as a pre-workout. You have a good time on it.
Yeah, you do. And
whereas
it's not for people that
pre every day.
No, I couldn't.
I think it's slightly unfair having it on our leaderboard because we're trying to find the most mental, crazy band, blow your head off ones, and Ghost's on there, and it's not aimed at. It's not aimed at that. It's totally not. It's for the night. Like the biggest thing I say to people is on the back of the tub it says to take before you go out partying.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know about who's that's designed for. So it should be. And I know if the owner of Ghost seeing that, he'd be like, yeah, like he doesn't want to be at the top. He doesn't want to be anywhere near the top because that means it's not for his demographic. And
but
again,
it's the one I go to more than any. Because I just
like a nice
want a session.
Say, because I'm 24 now. Take me back to when I was 18, 19. I just want my head blown off constantly. I feel like I'm getting old now because I don't want stim. Like I'll have to make sure if I take a stim MVP, I have to take it on the weekend when I know like I'm not going to be up early the next morning, and I prepare myself for the anxiety. There's everything. But I don't know about you, but I remember being able to take stuff and just be like outstand. Like
I'm still in that.
I think I'm more like you than he is. I come to the end of because what we do, we go do the review, go to the gym, come back. In that come back, sometimes, especially after the last one, that berserk, that's hit me the most. Yeah. That berserk, I
can't do a full scoop berserk. I was sick of it.
Show him a scoop of berserk at the end of this. What we had, it was borderline on 2.
So basically,
it's the same scoop as chemics, isn't it?
Is it
the scoops? The scoops has got that ridge around, doesn't it?
Right.
Because I know the ridge just above the actual handle is where I go to. When I went up to the top, I was sick. I actually threw up.
So do you want to know what he did? So he said, this time, you know what we're going to do? We're going to heap it. So as in, not
as
just
much
flat.
as you can get on a balance.
On a shield scoop, yeah, it's about falling off. That's a bad. It's got 200 milligrams of DMHA in, so
mood elevation were great though.
Yeah, you'd be flying on it. You'd be loving life, but then, I just know. I know exactly when I hit a certain level of stimulants. I think, fuck, I'm just waiting for that pit in my stomach of anxiety. And
I'm on that Support Max as well, so I think that might be helpful.
Support Max Neuro.
Yeah,
I absolutely love Neuro. Yeah, I love Neuro. I take that every day.
I'm on it every day and I rate it.
Brain health wise, for the stuff that you don't know it's doing, it's phenomenal.
So I think that's from what Bradley were telling me, that seems to help him after heavy pre-workouts.
Yeah, it'll be the ashwagandha mainly.
Yeah.
With the ashwagandha decreases cortisol and it has the potential to help GABA connect to the receptor, which is one of our inhibitory neurotransmitters. So it decreases anxiety, stuff like that. So it'll be mainly ashwagandha.
How much ashwagandha's in there? So
800 milligrams.
You've took 8 grams in a day once, haven't you?
6. I
How
think it was.
that?
I felt very chilled out.
Yeah.
Very. I wouldn't recommend it. For a few reasons. Actually, like, not only do I not recommend it. So this is why I don't know why. As soon as I say that, everyone's like, "Well, took 6 grams. I'm going to take 6 grams." Like, no. Like, not only do I say I don't recommend it, I urge people not to do that. Overstimulation of a certain serotonin receptor can cause not good things, which ashwagandha can do.
Right.
I have it did. So it's just there's a few. I think it was actually Mark, the owner of Cardiff. Said he took 6 grams. I was the same. I was like, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And I took it one day. It felt amazing, felt fantastic, but I certainly would not do it constantly.
Okay.
800 milligrams in that's my go-to ashwagandha. It covers me. I get my lion's mane, which I absolutely love. Choline, which is absolutely essential, and then you get your phosphatidylserine and blood pressure.
So lion's mane, that's in that, which is obviously to kind of chill you out a bit and can make you feel tired. Is that right?
No, it's lion's mane's increase a thing called nerve growth factor.
Sorry, I meant the product.
Oh, the product, yeah.
But people said that can make you feel tired. I've not had it yet.
No, I wouldn't
Lion's
say
mane's
so.
in chemics as well.
That's where I was going.
Lion's mane is.
So
Lion's mane does a few things. It increases a thing called nerve growth factor, and it increases a thing called choline-acetyltransferase, so the transferation of acetyl from the acetyl coenzyme A to choline to form a neurotransmitter. It's not so. Nootropics are really confusing for people. Like choline brings you acetylcholine, so people think, right, well, I want acetylcholine for cognitive function, focus, stuff like that. I'm going to take it in a day, but you can take it before you go to bed. Ashwagandha is an acetylcholine esterase inhibitor, so it stops the breakdown of acetylcholine. So you can take that in the morning. I've taken this in the morning with a coffee. Absolutely amazing.
I had it this morning, didn't I?
So it's
was that what that was?
you can utilise it so people like when they take it, well, anytime you want really. Like it depends what the desired factor are and
I'm sure
what you want from
it
it.
can make you feel tired, but
It can, ashwagandha, yeah, it can do, because of that ability to help GABA connect to it, well, the potential for that to connect to the receptor better. So
that's why we're going with the lion's mane, because it's one of the main 4 ingredients that they're pushing chemics.
in chemics,
That's what on they have like the panel, don't they?
yeah, I think it's the elements thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lion's mane's on there, cause I think it's a buzzword at the moment.
Right.
Everybody's using lion's mane in some way, shape or form. They've actually just released a capsulated version, which has 500 milligram more lion's mane in it. So,
I'm right in thinking they're coming out with a joint one as well.
yeah, literally it's pre-order now, I think.
Is it?
Plug for Rich, he's going to thank me for that. But yeah, it's a good ingredient.
He's another guest we want on as well.
Yeah, he'll be super open. He's really cool guy. So
He seems
he's a
just
good person to
dead
go.
chilled.
He is. He just
Knows exactly what he's on about.
yeah, just cracks on. Does him like. He's not.
His business.
I kind of want to take out a leaf of his book. I'm far too over energetic. That makes sense. So he'll see a shit pre-workout and be like, shit pre-workout, just crack on.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, I want to tell the world. Like I hoping when I get older, I'll be just. 'Cause he's a lot older than me, but I've known Rich for a good few years now. We're really good friends. So.
He's a bit closer to us than you.
Yeah, probably is.
Everyone is.
Yeah.